Houston Real Estate Radio starts right now.
Thanks for tuning into Houston Real Estate Radio this Sunday afternoon. Shannon Register here, and every Sunday I like to bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. Call us with your real estate questions, 281-882-8088, and we'll answer them for you here on the air next Sunday. That number again is 281-882-8088. We'll be happy to hear from you. And if you just want to know what your home is worth or the price per square foot in your neighborhood, call me. Tell me that. And I always enjoy answering your questions on anything that has to do with real estate. So you can always give me a call. I've got another real estate agent joining us today. She is from Austin, the Austin market. We're continuing our around the state coverage, our boots on the ground, if you will, view of the real estate markets in Texas. We've heard from Dallas and Fort Worth, and we just want to get another perspective of what's going on around the state. I have Laura Croteau here on the line, and she is from Austin Rock City Realty, and she's going to share with us what's going on over in the Austin market. We know that things here in Houston have been a little different, a little wild and crazy. So what's going on over in Austin? How's your market doing?
I would say we're pretty wild and crazy too. I hear maybe not quite as wild and crazy as Houston, but you know we're weird, so that makes up for it.
Hey, y'all are weird year round, all the time. So Austin's known for that, right?
we work hard at that.
One of the things that I've heard is over, we're a couple hours from College Station, and over in that area, I know they've got some communities with deed restrictions where you can't just go in and buy a house and use it as an investment property and rent it out to college students because they have deed restrictions that keep people from multiple families from living in a house. Do y'all run into that problem in Austin?
I haven't run into it, no, but I concentrate more in central Austin, and we're not dealing so much with HOAs, and that's more in the newer subdivisions that are a little further out.
Okay, all right. So tell us, what are some of the hot communities around there?
Oh, gosh, anything central. The 78745 zip code has gotten really hot. The Holly Street neighborhood, all of East Austin, particularly close to downtown and just east of UT, those neighborhoods are going up really quickly in value. But anything inside of the 183 loop is very hot.
Considered a hot property, huh?
Yes, I list property all over. I'm not really focused on a particular area. I go where my clients want me to go, and really since around January, the market really started heating up, and what I was seeing is multiple offers within 2 days on the market.
We love those. Don't you love those?
When I'm the listing agent, I do. When you're working with a buyer, it can be a heartbreaker. Most of the buyers I've had this year, if they're financed, they're having to put offers on 4, maybe 5 houses before they actually get one under contract.
Mm. Yeah,
and
that can be tough on them.
A real emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah. What about the Lake Travis area? Are you seeing a lot of retirement communities over there?
Honestly, I don't work Lake Travis as much, but I know that it is booming out there. Every time I drive out there, the amount of new construction blows my mind.
I hear about people in Houston wanting to move out to Lake Travis. Hear about that a lot.
So, it is a good, and of course Sun City and Georgetown too. It's all of the outlying areas are booming as fast as Austin is.
Is Round Rock, that area, still booming over there?
Mm-hmm.
Just growing
Round
like
Rock,
crazy.
Pflugerville. I mean, even like Kyle and Buda, every direction that you go from Austin. east of Austin, it's not booming quite as much, but now we've got that 130 toll road out there, so subdivisions are starting to crop up along that as well.
Are home values going up? Do you see in general all of the home values creeping up now?
They are, and what I see, if a property is well priced when it's put on the market, generally, unless there's something really cursed about the location or really cumbersome about the property itself, like a bad floor plan or just, structural problems.
Some kind of
if
defect. If
you price it right, you can pretty much count on getting multiple offers in the first couple of days on the market. I think it's simmering down just a little bit now that we're getting on the back to school. But earlier in the season, just anything that you put on the market, people were making offers sight unseen just to beat out the other buyers that they knew would be making offers.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the Houston market too. Now, what about foreign investors? Do you see any foreign investors in your market over in Austin?
Yes. I think we're at the point where it's kind of become a no-brainer that investment in Austin real estate is going to make you money. And they have agents that are just sitting there watching the hot sheets, looking for new listings and throwing out offers sight unseen.
Yeah.
A lot of the buyers, the contracts I see, the buyer is an LLC. So you don't really know who it is except that it's a professional investor or an investment group.
And like you said, these are the new listings coming on. They're having to look for new stuff because there aren't any foreclosures and short sales just sitting out there, are there?
No, I don't really see much of that anymore. There was a while there where I was selling properties out in Elgin and Manor that were under $80,000 that were built in 2007 that were foreclosures and short sales, and you could turn around and rent them for $1,200.
Right, but you couldn't sell them.
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as those came on the market too, there would be 6 or 7 offers within a couple of days.
Wow.
And rather than sign the first full price offer, they'd just sit on their hands and let the offers pile up for a couple of days and tell everybody, well, bring me your highest and best by Wednesday, 6 o'clock. We'll go through the offers we have. And they just let them stack up. And, the number of people that didn't bother to put an offer because they were told that there were already 6, how many offers could it possibly have gotten if no one knew about the others?
Right.
Who knows, maybe 15 or 20.
Right. Yeah, I think sometimes that's the smart way to go, is not to tell anybody if there are any offers out there and just see what happens instead of going the multiple offer route and disclosing it to every agent.
Well, I think the hopes in disclosing it are that, you initiate a bidding war and everybody keeps upping the price. But unless you're dealing with cash buyers, you can get offers that aren't going to fly because they're never going to appraise for that much.
Right. And don't you find sometimes too that when good buyers know they're in a multiple offer situation, they're good and they have good financing, they're paying cash, they know what they're doing, and they'll just say, I don't even want to look at that because there's multiple offers, I'm going on to something else. And you just might have lost the best offer you could have gotten.
Yes, it happens a lot. But, I've had many of my buyers would just say, no, I'm not going into a bidding war. Yeah. Forget it.
They don't want to fight it. They just don't want to fight it. So talk to me about rental properties. I know you can identify rental properties and know which ones will cash flow for your clients and which ones won't. Tell me about that.
Well,
what's your secret on that?
Into a property. What?
So what's your secret on that?
Oh, it's not a secret. It's just, knowing the market. I mean, I can pretty much walk in the door and tell you what it's going to rent for. And anything in central Austin, they've jumped up 200, 300 a month over last year. Mm-hmm. Some properties we lease went up as much as $400 over what they were renting for last year. It's the supply and demand market, and everybody is moving to Austin like the rest of the world is on fire.
Why is that?
Everybody wants to be in Austin. It's crazy. We have a reputation as, being the liberal oasis in the heart of Texas, and, the music scene and all the university culture, the state capital. There's just so many industries here that are growing and hiring, so people are flocking here for quality of life. And although life is getting more expensive here because we're probably at 99% occupancy on the rentals, and I've been leasing since '85. I mean, I've never seen it this rough. Mm-hmm. It's getting. I mean, I keep expecting there to be a renter revolution or something because
well, and we're starting to see a little bit of that here in Houston. We're starting to see people go back and rethink this whole renting thing, because they're looking at it and going, I can buy and pay the same amount per month towards a mortgage, even if it's a house I don't like that much because I can't find exactly what I want. It's still better because I could sell it in a few years and make some money and not be paying rent, not be paying somebody else's mortgage for 2 years. So we're starting to see a little bit of that. If they can get a mortgage, that's right. If they can get a mortgage.
And that's the only thing that holds a lot of them back. But frankly, that's why I keep a leasing and management division going, because that's enough to drive you crazy. But it brings me buyers and sellers in a constant flow, where a lot of other realtors are paying to procure leads or, doing a lot of work to procure leads. Mine are built in because I have renters that eventually buy and investors that eventually get sick of it and want to sell their properties or buy more.
Yeah. So, now, what about flipping projects? Are you seeing a lot of people flipping houses? Or
that went pretty dead for a couple of years, but it's starting to pick back up.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. In fact, my brother and sister-in-law started doing one this month. But yes, I'm seeing that again. Although, you really can't pull off the flipping unless you're in a market where there's a certain appreciation rate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be worth it. You've got to, and you really have to know what you're doing. I mean, you can't pay retail prices for the appliances and for the renovations. I mean, you just can't. You've got to be able to get it.
You've got to be able to do the work yourself, or have crews where you can get it done at a reduced cost.
Right.
Because Austin buyers are extremely savvy. They know what everything costs. I mean, years ago, you could come in and do a little cosmetic fluff job. I call it, sprinkling the fairy dust over it, and turn around and, make significantly more money than what you put into improving it. But nowadays, Austin buyers, they've priced all these things. They know what those ceiling fans cost. They know what those granite counters cost. And they're not going to give it 200% of its value.
Right.
When they're looking at pricing it.
Right. All right. Well, I definitely appreciate your feedback. If you're just joining us here on Houston Real Estate Radio, you can go to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com and watch videos of today's show with our guests, realtors from around the state. We always like to get their feedback on what's going on. We've heard from Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, and Austin today, hearing about their real estate markets and what they're seeing in comparison to what we're seeing going on here in Houston. If you have a real estate question, give me a call, 281-882-8088, and I'll be happy to help you with whatever real estate situation you've gotten yourself into or might be thinking about getting yourself into. That's 281-882-8088. We love to hear from our listeners. Next Sunday, we'll be broadcasting from our remote broadcast booth at the Woodlands Fall Home and Garden Show. Come on out and see us. It's going to be a great show out there at the Woodlands Waterway Marriott, and we're going to have a lot of fun out there. So I hope you get to join us. We'll see you next Sunday at 1 p.m. here on Houston Real Estate Radio.